Hello everybody, this is SodaFan2K10 here, welcoming you to another Brio Thomas and Friends discussion. This week we're taking a look at none other than Toad the Brake Van. He may not be as well known as Anya and Clarabelle due to having far fewer appearances than them, but I believe he's a well-loved and fan-favourite character. At least he's one of my favourite characters, particularly in the CGI series, but we'll get to that a little bit later. For now we'll just concentrate on looking at the model that Brio made of him. So we'll start with the most important aspect of any Thomas Friends character, which is the face. The face, I looked on the Thomas Friends Wikia to see if I could match this face to any of his on-screen faces. To be honest, I can't. I can't quite, it doesn't perfectly replicate any existing face, but saying that, you can instantly see that this is Toad. Just, the shape of the face, the smile, the cheeks, and the shape of the nose, what have you. This is instantly, you can see that this is Toad, which I really like. And I quite like that it's not an exact replica of any face. The fact that Brio might have done something different. So, I really like that face. I think it's a good Toad face. We'll take a look at the side. He's got all the classic details you might expect. He's got like the wood paneling detail and his framework. He's got a couple other small little details that we'll take a look at. He's got a number there, which is GW56831, which is an interesting number. There's also 16 tons written there, because he's based on a Great Western Railway 16-ton brake van. Very apt name. And you can also see he's got the veranda right there. I don't know why. I don't know if this is how all models of him are, if this is true to his basis, but the supports for the model on mine are slanted backwards. I'm not sure how well you can, how obvious it is to see. It is to me in looking at him in person, but they're slanted backwards for whatever reason. He's also got, I've almost missed it, there is a little lamp right there. At least I'm guessing that's meant to be a lamp. Looking at the back, there's no detail, but mine has a little bit of edge wear, a little bit of chips, just from, years of play and dropping him and what have you. There's the other side, which of course is just going to be a mirror detail. There's the Brio sticker. The one thing I will admit about these Brio models that I don't like is where they place these stickers sometimes. I don't understand why they put it on the chassis right here, but it's there, so I haven't bothered to remove it like I did with Anya and Clarabelle. But taking a quick look, yes, 1996, as we've come to expect from these stickers. I almost forgot, there's also the roof. I think it's supposed to be white, but it's just been yellowed over time, and it's got a lot of wear and tear on it. There's especially on the sides and what have you. Again, it's just from years of having this stored in a box and me rummaging around trying to find him and what have you, and then when I was younger dropping him and what have you, as most of my wooden railway items have suffered. The underside, there's nothing much to talk about. There's just the screws which hold his body to the chassis, and that's honestly about it for Toad. He's a very simple model, but then, his basis is rather simple itself. So in terms of character, Toad is one of my personal favourites, especially amongst the rolling stock characters. I would describe Toad as being polite, well-mannered, but also firm but fair. I think that's another term I'd use to describe him. He made several appearances in the classic era, but he really shone in the CGI series, where I want to take a moment and just mention that Oliver and Toad returned in the CGI series in the same episode in Toad's Adventure from Series 18. Since then, Toad has had 3 episodes to himself. Oliver has had none. Oliver has had no lead episodes in the CGI era. He was supposed to appear in Series 21. There was an episode called Samson and the Fireworks from Series 22. It's one of the 8 episodes that was cut from Series 21 to make room for big production for Big World Big Adventures. And it was supposed to star Oliver. But they cut it, and when it was released for Series 22, they replaced Oliver and Toad with Samson and Bradford, which I love Samson and Bradford, don't get me wrong, but it would have been nice to get another episode with these two. In fact, the one thing I wish we would have seen is an episode with Toad and Bradford, because they're both brake vans, but they've got completely different personalities. Toad, as I mentioned, is polite and well-mannered, and he speaks to authority, which I'll get to in a moment, but Bradford is a stickler for the rules. He sticks completely 100% to the rule book, which, you know, Toad does to a degree as well. He knows his place, he knows his job, but I would have loved to see these two in a conflict with one another, with their different approaches to their role as a brake van. So what I mentioned about Toad knowing his place and authority and what have you, is he has a really cute little character trait, being that he refers to all engines as Mr. or Miss, which I really like Mr. Oliver or Miss Marion, for instance. And it's just a really fun and cute little character trait that I really like. You know, no one else really has that, apart from calling the Fat Controller Sir or what have you, but I love the way he calls everyone Mr. Thomas, Mr. James, what have you. In terms of what I mentioned about him being firm but fair, he knows, he respects what the engines do, but he knows when he's got to step in and take control, as we saw in Toad's Bright Idea, where Gator wanted to be on time. He wanted so badly to be on time that he was willing to travel at night without his lamp on. But Toad, when he learned of this, he put on his brakes to stop Gator, to force him to put his lamp on. He would not let Gator travel without a lamp, which I really like. It's, you know, he knows when he's got to take charge. He knows if an engine is disobeying the rules, he's got to step in, and he did a great job. And I love that about him. I think he's great in that sense. So, apart from that, Toad is a great character. I really like him a lot. He's had some great appearances, he's had some great episodes to himself, and I just wish we could have seen more of him, personally. But that's my thoughts about this model. I think Brio did a fantastic job. Once again, it's a simple model, but then, you know, there's nothing wrong with it being simple. I'll give a quick, another quick spin around, as I've been doing through this discussion. And I think that's about it. So let me know what you think about Toad as a character and as a Brio model down in the comments below. And I will see you next week for another Brio Toms and Friends discussion. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.